Rebel Moon! Ah, finally. We've been waiting for more Rebel Moon goodness. Obviously, when it came to the ta-dum trailer that we got, that's going to be happening on June 17th. We're hopefully, fingers crossed, we're going to get the first trailer or teaser for Rebel Moon. Zack Snyder, he's going to be at the Dum. I think Sofia Boutella is going to be there too. I think one other actor from the movie as well. I don't know if it was Ray Fisher or somebody else. But anyways, we got some Rebel Moon goodness today, guys. And that's why I was like, oh, wow, it was nice to wake up to Rebel Moon. I mean, and it's not just crumbs. It's full on. We're getting full on cookies. Oh, there she is, Miss Sofia Boutella. And look at the background. You got the moon back there. It looks really sweet. We got some wheat right here. We got just a great looking shot right here for Rebel Moon and Sofia Boutella. Zack Snyder is world building once again with Rebel Moon. This time, the 300 and Justice League filmmaker is creating not just one world, but a sprawling menagerie of planets full of cyborg warriors with molten metal swords, giant half-humanoid arcanids, whatever, and ancient robots that seem to have emerged more from medieval times than the future. The new Netflix space saga that Snyder directed and co-wrote extends far beyond the verdant orb of the title. This moon is actually one of the more modest worlds. It circles an immense gas giant at a distant edge of the galaxy and populated mainly by farmers. It's nowhere special, but it's about to change the balance of power in the fictional universe. So, yeah, looking at that. And then we got a budget right here. Apparently the budget was estimated at $166 million right there. So not too shabby. Not too shabby. And apparently this might have been for both. So that's pretty cheap. Pretty cheap right there. That's good. This story, which Snyder has been molding for more than 3 decades, focuses on outcasts, militants, and refugees from many desperate planets who join forces to rise up together against punishing authoritarian government, as in real life, uniting so many different factions of easier proposed and accomplished, both in story and behind the scenes, as multiple plot lines entwine. In every way, Rebel Moon is a heavy lift. And then we got a quote right here. It's a glutton of punishment. I don't know why I always make an ensemble movie. I can't wait not to do that. So Zack Snyder basically saying, because if you look at a lot of his movies, he has an ensemble. There's always like a big group, or it leads to a big group. And apparently Horse Latitudes, he needs to do that movie next, I think. But, he goes, I can't wait not to do that. But in the meantime, of course, I love it, Snyder says. It feels that constructing his worlds in real life makes the otherworldly feel more immersive. This movie was me going, of course, it's a space opera, but let's not lens it that way. Let's lens it in a more intimate way so that the sci-fi elements feel more grounded, of course. And then talking about that, there's the group right there. Look at that shot. That's right. We got some Ray Fisher right here, Mr. Blood Axe right there. But yeah, we got the entire cast of, I guess you could say, Rebels right here, taking a picture. We got Charlie Hunnam, Will It Be? That's a good shot. First look, originally the script was one movie, but it was in Zack form. I love that. I love the fact that she said that, yeah, it was supposed to be one movie, but it's in Zack form. So that means it was long as shit, and they had to divide it into 2 movies. I love that. Says his wife and longtime producing partner, Deborah Snyder, it was 172 pages, typically a script. A page of a script equals 1 minute of screen time, so Rebel Moon was shaping up to be approximately 3 hours long, which worried Netflix film chairman Scott Stuber. Stuber was like, on the service, under 2-hour movies really do better for some reason, even though you'll binge watch a series of 8 episodes. Said Debbie. Zack said, if you ask me to make this less than 2 hours, I'm going to lose all the character. You won't care about these people. Man, remember when they instructed Zack to make a Justice League movie under 2 hours? Yeah. And he laughed at that. It's a character story about how people can change and redemption, and what are you willing to fight for? What if I give you 2 movies? And then we got a close-up of Miss Sofia Boutella right there, which looks pretty damn awesome. And, of course, you know, they talk about her. And there's the power couple right there, Zack and Debbie. And Zack holding on to his camera, which is great. Boutella sees the character as a symbol for the way people ignore or run from problems in their lives until they can't anymore. She knows the guilt that she's been living with, and the first step of her redemption is doing something about it, you know, going away. So that's pretty sweet. There's Charlie Hunnam right there. Charlie Hunnam, will it be? Looking pretty badass. Gotta like that. And we got, what's his name right here? I always forget his name. Yeah, that's right. Jaimin Hansu right there with Sofia Boutella. He's looking freaking jacked, of course. You know, a Zack Snyder movie. Gotta look jacked. And then we got, who's this right here? This is Staz Nar right here. You know, showing those abdominals. And then we got Duna Bay right here, showing her character. I like it. Again, I know some people were complaining about how it looks. This is all set photos right here. All set photos. We don't even know what the color palette exactly is going to look like yet. We don't know that. And we got Michael Huseman right here as Gunner. And that's what his character is looking like. And then look at Mr. Badass Blood Axe, Ray Fisher, Mr. Blood Axe. We're going to get some badass fight choreography, some like, you know, some Batman Warehouse BVS type style, hopefully action right there. So Ray looking pretty sweet. I like that. Ray looking sweet. And then we got F. Duffy as a refugee turned Renaissance fighter, Millis. And then, of course, we got Staz right there, right behind her. She's looking very much like... what's her name from Mad Max Fury Road. So that's pretty sweet. And then we got Ed. We got Ed Skrein. Ed Skrein looking like a Nazi right here. And we've seen some of these characters. We've seen some of this stuff when it comes to the Rebel Moon concept art. So we've seen some of this already. But yeah, this is looking pretty cool right here. So he's leading the charge with some of these priests that I think we've even heard about too. They're like priest-like characters. Gonna be interesting. There's a close-up right there. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that design in that mask right there. And you got the thorns right here over the shoulder pads of skulls. God, that's pretty sweet. You gotta love that. So we got thorn crowns right over the skulls that are shoulder pads. Dark. Absolutely dark. Absolutely dark. And then here's a cool shot of Zack right here, of course, operating the camera because he's the cinematographer for Rebel Moon and down in the trenches. So that's a cool shot right there. And apparently, too, guys, when it comes to, I mean, it's already been revealed that, yes, Rebel Moon is going to, in fact, get a theatrical release, but it's going to be a PG-13 release. So basically, Part 1, Rebel Moon Part 1 and Part 2 is going to get a PG-13 cut and then is going to get an R-rated cut. So yes, guys, we are getting Zack Snyder's director's cuts, ultimate cuts, whatever you want to call it, Snyder cuts of Rebel Moon Part 1 and Part 2. So we're going to get both. We're going to get both, which they express right there, which makes sense. If we're going to release it out in theaters, make it PG-13, so then everybody can go see it, and then, of course, have the more personal, more darker, more, you know, some F-bombs, more graphic Rebel Moon Snyder cuts.